Tonight, students get all dressed up.
And professors are fed up with slang in the classroom. Stay tuned. TrojanVision News starts now.
From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision News for November 13, 2014. I'm Jordan Elston.
And I'm Angel Norris. Thank you for joining us this evening. La Couture Fashion Club is a Troy University organization that lets students express themselves through their style, clothing, and fashion. Wednesday night, the organization put on their annual fall show, and Xavier Harris has the story.
Wednesday afternoon, Troy University's La Couture Fashion Troupe hosted their annual fall show, Fiercely Cultured. This show gave students a chance to come out and view some stylish and unique clothing put together in one big fashion show.
Today we're having our La Couture fashion show. It is called Fiercely Cultured, hosted by Philip Hudson. We are basically putting on a fall fashion show for the whole school. We want everybody to be able to express their own fashion, express their own interest in modeling, and so we have a troupe that we bring together through auditions, and then we showcase our own fashion styles, our own ideas, and we put them in on a fashion show.
One of La Couture stylists explains exactly how he gets each member prepared and styles them for each show.
I give the people the chance to exude who they are first, and then we're going to mold them into what the scene requires.
And while the La Couture Fashion Club hosts this event every semester, the event coordinator tells us exactly how she gets her ideas for the title of her show.
I just basically thought about what was in, something different, something that I ain't never really seen before, and something with many aspects that can be brought to life.
Roger also explains how this year's students had the chance to come out and see a celebrity host this year's show.
We picked somebody that we knew the crowd was going to enjoy. We actually seen an ad that he posted, and I just went out on a limb and took my chance on look and talked to him. He actually wasn't in our price range, but I just did the best I could and gave him my personality that I would give anybody else and just asked for a favor.
The La Couture members tells exactly what their favorite part about not only being a member of the organization, but during the fashion show.
My favorite part of the show has been meeting the troupe.
Just getting to see the creativity and meeting other new people.
The confidence in everybody's walks.
The La Couture troupe explains fashion as an unspoken language, so when you speak, speak well. Xavier Harris, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Auditions for the next La Couture fashion show will be held in the spring.
Has text, slang, and jargon gone too far? Well, one group of Troy University professors are sick of receiving emails that aren't properly composed with complete spelling and sentences. Yesterday, the English department held a forum to help students understand the correct way to email professors. Courtney Addison shows us more.
It's not uncommon to use shorthand text messaging while communicating to your best friends or even a family member. But there are some cases where that is unacceptable, and according to English professor Ben Robertson, an email to your professor is one of those cases.
You get this sense that, you get this kind of feeling that maybe the person writing the email doesn't actually care. And that kind of makes the student look bad, actually.
And how often do teachers receive these incomprehensive emails?
All the time. Very common, all the time.
Robertson added that an email isn't the place to tell your sob story. He says teachers don't have the time to read a life story. Instead, email should get straight to the point.
Get to the point, get to the point, and a really lengthy discussion isn't necessary.
But what should students keep in mind while writing?
You need to identify yourself. If you can, maybe identify which class you're in, and then be really very clear about what you're confused about or what you want or what kind of problems you're having, that kind of thing.
Robertson said that if a professor hasn't responded to your email in 2 to 3 business days, it is okay to resend that email. Courtney Addison, Troy, TrojanVision News.
If you're interested in ways you can clean up your emails, then you can pick up an email etiquette handout in Smith Hall. In our Trojan Profile series, we are taking a look at members of the Troy University family with interesting stories to tell.
That's right, Jordan. And today, Grant Norris introduces us to one Troy student whose acrobatic hobby has turned into a lifestyle.
Clint Hillman may seem like your typical nursing student, but when he doesn't have his nose in the books, you can find him around campus using his legs to parkour. Clint is a senior and has been doing parkour for 3 years now. But how did he stumble upon this hobby?
Honestly, I just kind of started off watching it on YouTube one day, and I figured, you know what, it'd be really cool if I tried that. And sure enough, I went out back and tried a few moves, and I loved it. And from there, I just picked it up and ran with it. And now here I am 3 years later.
Clint seems to be a master at his old hobby, but what exactly is parkour?
Definition of it is movement from in the most efficient, quickest manner possible from A to B. A simple question to ask yourself when doing a move is, would this move help me widen the gap between whoever's chasing me?
Parkour may seem wild and reckless, but Clint advises extreme precaution.
If you even have the slightest, even 1% doubt that you can't do something without getting hurt, don't do it. Parkour is not about trying to impress people. It's about you developing character, you developing patience, you developing confidence in your own ability to move. And not just that, but in life in general.
Parkour may look difficult on the surface, but Clint encourages anyone to try it.
Anyone can do parkour. I mean, it's one of those things where a common misconception is that it's often mistaken for a sport, when in reality, like I said before, it's a lifestyle.
Clint holds the art of parkour near to his heart, and when asked where he would be without it, he responded humorously.
I know I'd weigh about 50 more pounds than I do now. But yeah, I honestly don't know. I mean, it's just, I feel like it's part of my personality now, so I guess I just feel incomplete in some way.
Grant Norris, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
We will continue our Trojan Profile series tomorrow as we meet a Troy University student who has a perfect ability unique in the music world.
And now taking a look at news from around the state, the NCAA is honoring a swimmer who was killed while saving his girlfriend during a storm in Tuscaloosa earlier this year. The NCAA says it will present its 2015 Award of Valor posthumously to John Servati of Tupelo, Mississippi. The 21-year-old swimmer died in April while taking shelter in the basement of a home during a storm.
And advocates for the homeless in the Huntsville area are making plans to open an emergency shelter as the coldest air of the season surges into Alabama. Officials at the North Alabama Coalition for the Homeless say they will meet this afternoon to plan for the emergency warming center.
And Tuscaloosa police say 2 people accused of selling fake tickets to an upcoming football game are being held on $240,000 bond each. Sergeant Brent Blakeney says 38-year-old Shannon Stanley Seasmore and 31-year-old Heather Kietha Seasmore, both of Panama City, Florida, are each being charged with 16 counts of possession of a forged instrument.
Still to come on Troy Trojan Vision News, the men's basketball season is almost here. Stick around when Clay Yeager gives us a preview for the upcoming season.
Plus, we'll find out about the unexpected financial burden facing some sexual assault survivors. That and more after the break, so stay with us.
Want to save money on gas and help the environment? The EPA's smart driving tips could give you more miles per gallon and reduce air pollution. Make sure your tires are properly inflated. Accelerate and brake slowly. Be aware of your speed. And when buying a new car, look for the SmartWay certification mark to help you choose the most efficient vehicle that meets your needs. If we each adopt just one of these tips, we'd get more miles for our money, and it would be a little easier to smell the flowers. For more info, visit epa.gov/smartway.
The warrior spirit. It's in there. Always has been. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Walk with confidence, conquer, claim territory, and climb ladders. Know that you have the power to stand alone, but the comfort of knowing that you'll never have to. Discover your inner warrior. Find it at troy.edu/spirit.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy Trojan Vision News.
The football team finally got the second win they've been looking for when they beat Georgia State last Saturday, with the score being 45-21. However, it was not just the team's second win, but head coach Larry Blakeney's 100th career win since coaching for the Trojans. Blakeney started his career in 1991, and players such as Josh Anderson say that it is an honor to be part of his latest accomplishment.
It was big for us, especially with it being Coach Blakeney's 100th win. It was real big for us. I'm just proud to say that I was a part of that, for Coach Blakeney. Despite the season, how it's been going for us, it was very exciting.
The Trojans will look to see if they can get Blakeney another win this Saturday against Idaho. The men's basketball season is almost underway as they take on Bruton Parker tomorrow night. Devin Smith gives us a look as how the team is going to prepare for the new season.
Net swishes and sneaker squeaks. For most people, Those familiar sounds coupled together means the long-awaited return of basketball season is finally ended. An almost entirely new Troy Trojans roster means the return to the hardwood will come with more than a few questions to be answered for second-year coach Phil Cunningham and staff. And there is still a lot of court to cover before the season opener against the Bruton Parker Barons Friday evening.
Trying to get a few more things in that we hadn't worked on because when you play that first game, you want to make sure you've covered every situation. This time of the year, it's kind of odd because you want to keep moving with what you've been working on, but you got to make sure you get all those things in too. You have to be prepared for whatever zone you might face, whatever pressure you might face. So we're just finalizing those details and try to keep on moving and getting better every day as well.
As opening tip-off nears, coaches have little time left to implement new game plans and strategies. As for the players, a long off-season of familiar faces has them ready to accept a new challenge.
This time of year, the players are just foaming at the mouth. They're ready to go. They don't care who we play. If we played the Atlanta Hawks, they'd be excited about it and think we could beat them.
While the Atlanta Hawks won't be on the schedule anytime soon, there are still plenty of tough opponents on the Trojans' schedule. After finishing with a losing record last year, this new athletic bunch is chomping at the bit to get on the court and make a statement.
I think we're all excited and we're all ready to go. I think we all, want to just work hard and just, just want to beat up on everybody. I know last year's season wasn't very successful for us, and I think we all wanted to go further, but unfortunately we didn't.
With only 2 returning players from last year's squad, there is plenty of room for improvement if the roster can stay healthy. And Cunningham believes that his defense can be a key in making the Trojans a championship contender this season. Devin Smith, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
The Trojans will look to start their season tomorrow night in the Trojan Arena at 7 p.m. And the women's basketball team will start their season as well this weekend against an SEC opponent, Auburn. Troy is known for going against tough SEC schools such as Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida. However, last year they were not able to pull out any wins against SEC schools. This is a new season, and Chandra Rigby says even though it will be a tough game, this is exactly the type of team they wanted to play.
We had very good intentions in scheduling things this way. We wanted to come in at a higher level than if we just brought in somebody that, maybe we didn't have to be at our best for. And it has changed the way that we have coached in this preseason. Instead of having an okay day rebounding and I kind of go to bed and get a good night's sleep, I might stay up and try to think of some more drills or some more motivation ways to get more rebounds because we play Auburn first and we play Clemson second. We don't have a warm-up game. We don't have a few weeks to get ready. We've got to come out of the gate playing really well.
Troy will play in Auburn tomorrow night with tip-off at 6 p.m. The volleyball team has had a rough season, coming in nationally ranked as 236th team out of 334 teams in Division I. The team is now 9-20 for a seasonal record and 1-16 in the conference, as well as adding on to the losing streak of 16 this past weekend. Although the team has not had the season they wanted, head coach Sonny Kirkpatrick has not given up on his team and is determined to break the losing streak before the season is over.
Part of the enjoyment of the season is how hard that we've worked to try to stop our streak, and we expect no less than the last 2 weeks here of the season. We expect them to come into practice every day to get better. We expect them to go out and represent our program and our university in a good way. And we've got a good group of girls, and they're a lot of fun to coach. And we'll snap the streak here. We just have to figure out if it'll be this weekend or next weekend.
The Trojans will look to see if they can break their losing streak when they play Texas State this Sunday at 6:30 p.m.